Yo, it's your boy Feast. Before we start the episode, just kind of wanted to cut the camera on for a second, just chop it up. I know that I do these shorts, man, and I try to say some encouraging things sometimes and things like that, and I really appreciate everybody checking them out, Uh, but kind of want to give you a quick little insight into my brain, right? Every day is not the best day. Every day isn't full of joy and all type of other stuff. Sometimes you got to sit and you got to recalibrate your thoughts, and you have to push yourself to get to a comfortable spot and understand your why, which is going to take us into what our conversation is going to be about today. Um, but just know, if anybody's ever rooting for you, it's me. I'm a root for you, whether I know you, whether I don't know you. Whether we've met in person, whether we haven't. My only goal in life is to see as many people win as possible. And if I can have a say so in one person going left down a dangerous road or going right and pushing themselves and owning something and allowing themselves to experience life and to take other people with them and pay that forward, I'll definitely 100% do it 100 times out of 100. So, to those people who check it out, hope you enjoy it. To those people who don't check it out, shame on you. But either way, we're going to have some fun today. Humble Talk Podcast, episode 9. It's your boy Feast. Catch you on in a minute. Episode 9, Humble Talk Podcast. It's your boy Feast. Man, welcome back. Hope everything's been going great. And if it's not going great, I hope you are right on the cusp of something really great happening. Just keep pushing, pushing, pushing. Stay the course even when the road's rocky. And when it's your time, you'll win, as I've always said. I want to get right into something that's a little bit more personal to everybody. Not really so much the stories that we've been having, but more so just an idea and an ideology that we kind of have gone through in our own personal lives, whether we've said it out loud or not. And that is talking about your why and your motivation. You know, just a little backstory as to kind of where we kind of decided to get to this point is that throughout the things that happen, positive and negative, there's always a why. There's always a reason for it. There's always a motivation for it. May not be good motivation, may not be a bad motivation, but there is always something underlying as to what the reason is for you to make a decision, especially a drastic one. Most people that are regular people, go outside, kind of have responsibilities. They don't really just make decisions on a whim. There are people who do that. We all have friends and everything that do that. But for the most part, a lot of us are kind of more thought out and methodical in our decision making, which means that there is a why, even if we don't want to talk about it. So for me, kind of having some changes that I'm planning to make going forward, with my personal life and things like that, business and stuff like that, it kind of just made sense to just kind of have this conversation. I try to make shorts from time to time, and a lot of these shorts are somewhat inspirational, or I try for them to be. Sometimes the positive side of me and the negative side of me sometimes battle it out sometimes, and sometimes videos kind of get a little way, and shorts of this and videos of this is, it's just a part of being human, right? Part of trying to figure out kind of your why, right? Like why I'm sitting in front of this camera, because I don't have to. It doesn't do anything for me other than being able to talk to you guys. So but let's talk about it and we'll figure it out together. So to get right to it, why? A lot of times I sit at home and the wife talks to me and she's like, hey, what's your why? And when she first started saying it, it made no sense. And she picked it up from the business that she has and everything like that. And she kind of brought that little bit of baggage home. And it's something that we would talk about from time to time. And it wasn't until those conversations began to happen regularly that I began to understand what it was that was being asked of me. Because a lot of times, if we're being honest, a lot of times we answer questions and we make decisions based on the surface level. And what that question is your why. What that question is more speaking more to the internal reason, the things that are eating at you that you don't tell people about, the things that you really are low key worried about that you don't want to acknowledge to the world. And once I got that's where we were coming from, and that was the conversation we were having, it made it a whole lot easier conversation to have, and it allowed me to kind of slowly, somewhat think in my own way, like even when I'm making decisions without saying it out loud, because I'm thinking like, you know what, like, yeah, from a surface level, yeah, but what's the real reason? What's the real cause? What's the real thing that's going on in my head? Or, yeah, in my head, consciously or subconsciously, that's making me feel a certain type of way. Me as a person, if you know me, I'm a person that's based on principle. So a lot of decisions that I make, whether I want to acknowledge them or not, are based on personal experiences, whether in business or, personal, or, friends, just whatever. Like, a lot of stuff can get tied back, if I run a rope long enough, can go back to some type of personal experience. Is that always good? No. Can I acknowledge that I've probably made mistakes along the way based on that? Yeah. I've lost money because of that, but I tend to find that the principles that I live by are my why, because they're the things that have built the foundation of who I am as a person, as a man. And as long as I stick to those, I may not always be in the best spot, but I'll always be okay. And I can always live with the fact that I did it for those reasons that I just put forward. So, for me, just a quick little thing. I've given you guys a couple stories of the childhood that I've had growing up. There's still a lot more stories. There's a whole lot more gore and guts and all that to it. But I digress for now. We'll definitely get to the juicier stuff later on. A lot of the things that have plagued me personally are things that can't be fixed at this point. They're things that kind of were implanted into me as a youngster that they just stick with me. And I'm not a super talkative person outside of this, for people who know me, which is kind of crazy that I sit in front of the camera. But a lot of times the why is kind of the thing that allows me to push forward to the next day. The why is the thing that makes me challenge myself. A lot of the why for me, when it comes to the things that I want to get to, are simply the fact that, like, I've been homeless and I refuse to go back. Sometimes it's the surface reason, and that's that's it. Like if you ask me without an explanation, that would probably be my answer. Hey, why do you continue to work the way you do? Hey, why did you, I had a job in high school when I would leave as a senior. I want to say it was like maybe, I don't know, I can't remember, maybe 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock, something like that. I would leave, go to work, and I wouldn't get off work until 1 in the morning sometimes. And then I'd get up and go to school the next day. I missed all the partying. I missed all the real fun stuff that I should have had as a kid. I missed all of that for the opportunity to have something better, because all I knew was pain and anguish and, things like that. My why back then was the same why it is now. Like, I refuse to be homeless again. I refuse to live that way. I refuse to be a victim to certain situations that I had no control over at some point. But once I became old enough to have a say so and where I lived and whether I had money or not, that was a whole different ball game. The underlying issue to that is that I had saw dead bodies, overdoses, all these things living out on the street, and being outside, hearing gunshots at 3 in the morning, knowing what's going on in the street, kind of being out mingling in it. That's the underlying issue. I was homeless at 10. I saw my first dead body at 10. You know what I'm saying? When I was out here trying to figure it out, trying just to survive, already not wanting to be in that situation already, not understanding at 10, how to survive on your own in that environment. Then you layer up all these life experiences that you bumped into accidentally, just not necessarily on me, but just through the decisions that my parents made. And this isn't a knock to my folks, but it is what it is. So everything that I look at is that. Everything that you look at should be like that. Everything that you should do, decision making wise, that is going to deter you from the path that you're on onto the next decision should be based upon what your why is. Allow your why to dictate to you exactly where you're supposed to go. You might not like it. You 100% won't like it every single time. You're not going to go, man, my why is telling me I got to go over here. Whether or not I really want to or I don't, but a lot of times uncomfortability are the things that push us to the next level. Being comfortable will only allow you to go so far in the things that you want to do. The people that are rooting for you that aren't pushing themselves can't push you. You can't allow these people that aren't pushing themselves to go, hey, you know what? I think you should go do this. Well, hell, if I'm going to go do this, and if you think that I should go do this, why don't you go do this with me? Right? Have you ever thought about that? A lot of times people don't think that. They'll go, hey man, I think you should go and do this, but why not? Why are you staying here if I'm leaving? Because a lot of times it's comfortability. A lot of people get comfortable, they become stagnant. And when you become comfortable, when you become stagnant and you're just complacent in the space that you're sitting in, this is when resentment starts. Because resentment is going to start when you take this step. They refuse to take it because they're so comfortable and they're so fine in where they're sitting that you elevate to a spot beyond where they thought you were capable of going because you bet on you and you became uncomfortable and you played the game how it was supposed to be played. You had the right reasons and those reasons allowed you to continue to elevate. They will always make you elevate, even when you don't want to. Even when you don't want to. There's moments in my life where I've been at jobs and I've been, almost every job I've been at, I've had a supervisor manager position, one way or another. And I get in these jobs and there's moments where I look around and I go, these guys' morals don't line up to where I think I should be headed. So I quit. I've turned down money. I've turned down money. I've quit cold turkey. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna quit. Sometime. I wake up one day and I go to work and I look around and I go, I'm done. Is it the best way to go about it? No. But when my morals intersect with what somebody else's morals are and they're not going in parallel, I got to get away from you. That's how you should think. You should want to grow with people that are aligned with the thought process that you have. Even if they're not as far along in their thought process. Because truth be told, nobody's going to always be aligned with your thought process completely. But you can at least understand and you can see when somebody's at least trying to get there. And I can deal with that. Hey, you know what? You might not be, right next to where I'm at, but I may be behind you and you may be a little bit behind me. You know what I mean? Who knows where you're at on that ladder, but at least I know we're going in the same direction. We can figure out the rest of that. The rest of that is small. That's minuscule issues. A lot of times you don't have that. A lot of times you have, hey, like, we're going this way. You can either go or not. Well, hell, if that's me, I ain't going. A lot of my friends, just like a lot of you guys' friends, have been in that same boat. I have friends that have come to me and said, hey, man, this job ain't working out. Hey, man, I refuse. They not going to get me to do this. Hey, man, I ain't doing that, man. They crazy. They can, you know what, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? I have friends that do that. And a lot of times I have to sit with them in silence and I got to go, hey, bro, like, you're making a mistake. You're making a mistake. Not because I don't think that they're capable of going to the next level, but because you have to figure out who you are first before you can dictate terms. You have to figure out what you won't stand for to figure out what you will stand for. Because don't get it twisted. As long as you're working for somebody, as long as you're out here, you're making decisions on a business level when it comes to working, like, there is some give and there is some take. You have to understand that. You can't allow yourself to be swayed by people who don't align themselves with your values. If you have values, and everybody has values. Trust me. I've had conversations with many people who are, man, I don't care about nothing in public. But then behind closed doors, it's, hey, like I really do care. Hey, I really do want to stop doing this. Hey, I really do think that I'm meant for more. And I got to sit there and go, yeah, I think so too. But you got to get out of your way. You have to get out of your way. I can't help you until you get out of your way. So it's the same thing with personal. Same thing with personal. This why question is across the board. It's widespread. Same thing with personal. Hey, there's people that you're friends with that you say, hey, you know what? This is my friend, and then all of a sudden they're not my friend. Well, it's not that you're not friends. It's just that there's levels to everything. There's levels to the friendship. There's why. My why, like I said, is different than your why. If we're friends, I'm not friends with anybody because of what they can do for me. Because, truth be told, there ain't many that have really done anything for me. Not many. And the people that have helped me out, the people that have looked out, I think they've been taken care of 2-3 times over, in my personal opinion. And if that's not a true statement, if somebody watches this that's in that situation with me and you disagree, my number hasn't changed. Call me. Talk about it. Or we'll get you squared away. So I just look at it and I just say, hey, like sometimes, a lot of times I talk to people and they go, man, these guys ain't this, or man, these girls ain't this, or you know, I thought I could trust these people. And it's like, yeah, I don't, you know, it's all subjective. It's all based on your perspective. It's all based on what your why is. Why are you around these people to begin with? Now, here's what I learned a long time ago. I can love you and not be around you. All my friends, all my guys I grew up with, like every time I go back home, it's all love. When I go home, I fly home. I'm in Philly, I hang out. I go to Delaware, I hang out, and it's all love. Literally, it's like, yo, baby bro, we ain't seen you. Where you been? Hey, let's go hang out. That's on me. Whatever. It's all love. But I understand that love that people have for me back home is different than the love that people have for me here. It's not better or worse. It's just different. I have to understand that. The why I'm friends with these people back home still, compared to the why I'm friends with people that I'm friends with here in Texas. It's not better or worse. Like I said, it's just different. You have to understand that. Everybody that if I meet you in a different space, in a different part of time in life that I'm in, I'm not going to have the same friendship and the same why. I may have the same friendship. That's not true. But the why we're friends may be a lot different. Meaning this. If I'm outside and things go left, let's just say I'm at a bar. I'm not really a bar guy, and if I am, I'm by myself a lot of times. But let's just say I'm out, and I'm out with people, and I'm out with you, and you happen to be the, how do I say this nicely? You happen to be the, I don't do confrontation well people. Let's just say you're one of these people. But then something happens. Well, I'm not expecting you to respond a certain way based on the fact that I know that's who you are. Now, if I'm at the bar with certain people that are with the shit variety, I'll say that, then when I look over, we're going to tear this you know what up. It just is what it is, right? Doesn't mean that I'm any more or less friends with this person who isn't with that than I am with the guys that are with that. But I have to understand, like, my love for y'all, it's based on different criteria. You're not going to go to certain environments with business people that you would go with your friends that you grew up with from the neighborhood. So my why as to why I would befriend people or separate myself from is the same thing. I may sit and I may go, hey, you know what? Like, I've outgrown your thought process. It's no beef. It's no beef. I want you to win. I want you to win. But you may not be ready to win right now. And if you're not ready to win right now, I have to understand that you not being ready to win right now is going to hurt me. Because ultimately, you're the only one that's in control of your success. You have to push yourself. And a lot of times what you want to have happen is you want to push yourself hard enough that the people around you will push themselves or figure out what you're doing to help, so they can try to get to the next level as well. I never want to be in a situation where I'm winning by myself. I have to say that. I am never, ever in a situation where I want to win by myself. Never. Never. Anybody who knows me, who's had a real conversation with me, will tell you, hey, I want to be able to sit as a group with all the guys that I struggle with, all the people that didn't have shit with me, and sit down with suits on and be comfortable and be able to laugh and smoke cigars and enjoy the journey and talk about the journey and talk about how we almost didn't make it. That's what I want to do. That's what I want for every single person that's ever looked after me, ever called me brother, ever called me family, ever whatever, right? That's what I want. That is my ultimate goal. But I have to understand that that is not everybody else's perspective. That's not everybody's goal. Everybody doesn't think the way I think. Some people, of course, just think for themselves. Some people just want to make sure they're okay. There's a lot of friends that I have that are in good spots. There's a lot of guys that are around that I've had personal conversations with, and I'm the guy that's pushing them. Hey, go do what you got to do. I'm not expecting anything in return, but at the same time, I sit back and I watch and I go, okay, cool. Like, you know, because I can't expect everybody to look at me and go, hey man, like I never would have been here without you. Look, that's not my goal. My goal is for you to win. You got a family, you got whatever you got going on. Or you may not have a family. Maybe you just want to win. Maybe you had a shit life too, from your perspective. And maybe you just want to have something of your own. Hey, by all means, if I can help you, I'll help you. I will 100% help you. Why? Because I feel like I'm on borrowed time. This is me personally speaking at this point. I'm on borrowed time. I feel like anytime this is over with for me. I made it past 18. I'm winning out here. By default. If I do nothing else positive the rest of my life, I've already made it past 18. I'm cool. So these are my whys. These are the things. These are the reasons why it's not easy to wake up and do certain things. It's not fun to wake up and do certain things. But the drive is there. Why is the drive there? Because if I'm going to be here, why not? If you're going to give me borrowed time and say, hey, you have this time whether you want it or not. Why not make the best of it? Why not? Why not? I've spent energy putting it into negative shit. Why can't I take that same energy and put it into something positive and let's see what comes from it? Because I know what's going to happen when I keep giving negative energy. I know exactly what's going to happen. So why not give it positive energy and see what happens? I have a lot of friends that I genuinely love, right? And sometimes it bugs me because they're not in a situation to understand, like, hey, look, you have to allow yourself to let go. Your why is so caught up on the street stuff. Hey, I gotta be the street guy because that's what everybody expects me to be. No. It's what you expect you to be. It's the complacency in you. It's the comfort zone for you. You're comfortable allowing yourself to be seen a certain way. You're not sure what people are going to think about you once you step away from that and you start really getting to your potential for real. Because everybody has something. And a lot of my guys, they have something. I know exactly what it is. And the reason why I know they know is because through our one-on-one conversations, the real them comes out. And then when it's time to go in front of everybody else, this other guy comes out. And it's cool. I understand it. I was also there once before too. But I also have to explain, hey, look, listen, like there's nothing here. In this version of you, this is as far as you're going to go. If you don't push you, I'm not going to push you. I can't push you if your feet are concreted in the ground and you refuse and this is who you decided that you want to be. There's nothing that I can do. I have to just sit here, love you still, but I got to sit here and just let you rock out. And it sucks, but there are some guys that I like I said, I genuinely got love for. They're starting to figure it out. They're starting to make decisions that are reflecting of the fact that they're figuring it out. Maybe, is it late? Maybe. But everybody gets to the well at their own time. Everybody gets there at their own time. My job now for them is to make sure that I'm ready to help them wherever When they begin to become stagnant, my job now is to go, all right, you got yourself this far, now let's go. Let's go. That's my job now. That's what I'm waiting on. Those are the moments that I'm waiting on. Everything that I'm doing outside of view from people is allowing me to get set up and get prepared for that moment when these people that I genuinely got love for, that I would do anything for, allow themselves to get out of their own way, understand their why, push themselves to the next level. And once you begin to push you, bro, I'll drag you the rest of the way. It's facts. It is what it is. Because I like I said, I want everybody to win. If you're around me, if you know me, if my number is in your phone, I want you to win. Whether you care about me the same way or not, I want you to win. Period. Period. And the problem I think I have is that I'm a private cheerleader. Not in a literal sense. Not in a literal sense. But I'm the person that's cheering you on from the bleachers. Like the top of the bleachers. Like, you might not even notice me cheering you on. But I am. You know, and I don't know why I'm like that. I think it's because I'm aware that people see me away. And so what I don't want to do is like be around sometimes and kind of suck the air out of a certain situation and out of a certain room when that is not meant for me. Because at the end of the day, my why is that, like, why I'm cheering you on is because, like, I understand. It's kind of an unspoken conversation amongst people who've gone through things. We don't have to sit down and kind of just do the back and forth. Like, I get it. Whether I say it out loud or I just give you a head nod and keep it moving, I get it. So it's the same for you. And I challenge you, hey, if you're watching this and you're making decisions and you have some things going on, or even if you don't, even if you're just kind of sitting in yourself unsure about things, figure out what your why is. Sit down and really sit there and put it down in your head. Like, just kind of think about it. Why am I doing this? What is it that's pushing me to want to do this? And if you're not 100% in that direction, it's probably something that you need to get reconciled in yourself, and that might be a change. In whatever realm you want to have the conversation with yourself. It may be time to do something different. Not because that thing is bad for you, but because I don't know how many people are going to win somebody else's way. If you're going to win, and if you're supposed to win, you're going to win doing it your way. Because, now, I'm not a super biblical person, but check this out. I was once told this, and this is how I convey it to myself. Somebody once said, man, God already has your story written, right? So if my story's already written, then I should be able to pick the lane in which I take to get there. So, which way would be more fun? Betting on myself, or just taking whatever is being handed to me and then just riding somebody else's wave? I choose to be a tsunami. I don't want to be a wave. That's what I want to be. I want to be a tsunami out here. That's what I want. I want that for my people. If I rock with you, if I know you, that's what I want you to be. I don't want you to be a wave. I don't want you just going along to get along. Hey, step to the forefront. Push the issue and go get what you want. Because it's there for you to take it. If you want it. If you want it. If you push as much as you want to breathe to get to the next level, you'll get there. You'll get there. There are sacrifices along the way. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. You're going to fall. You're going to put yourself in situations that you're unsure of. But what would you rather be? Unsure in a situation where you're betting on yourself, or unsure at the mercy of somebody else? Unsure with somebody else's decisions. I can live with burning myself. I don't know about everybody else, but I can live with the uncertainty of me pushing myself in a direction. It's hard for me to listen to somebody else and go, yeah, we tried it and it just didn't work out. So, you know, here's a couple $100 and we'll give you a good reference and you can go do something else. Or, hey, this friendship's cool and all that, but I just thought that, thought you'd be better, thought you'd be funnier, thought you'd be a cooler friend. Like, it's cool. We got to go do something else. No. And this is in a short that I once put, like, sometimes you're gonna lose people. You have to be okay with that. You got to be okay with losing whatever's coming your way. Sometimes your support system ain't even your support system. Let's be real. Sometimes your support system is just a bunch of people that you want to care about what you got going on, but they don't. A lot of times the people that support me that support you, whether you believe it or not, are strangers. They're the people that see the potential. They're the people that give you the opportunities. If you have an idea and you have something going on and your friend's not like, yo, bro, keep that going. Hey, homegirl, like, keep pushing that. You got it. There's something's going on. Why? Because it costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to boost somebody's confidence. It costs you nothing. It costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to just go, hey, you know what? I may not openly, do this or do that. I may not be an internet person, or I may not be, super share on the internet, whatever. But when I talk to people and they bring up a service that my friend covers, that might be my way of supporting. Hey, look, give them a call. I just did it the other day. One of my homies. Like, I'm not Mr. Hey on the internet, but somebody had commented on something, and my homie, who is on the internet all the time, I'm like, you know what? Perfect opportunity. Let me shoot my homie the information and let them link up. Now, if they do business, they do business. It's cool. But if not, what did it hurt me? Again, my why is I want everybody to win. Everybody to win. And this ain't like a day one homie of mine. Like, I've been out here in the country for a while. He's been a solid cat since I've been out here, but I don't owe him that. But I want him to win so bad that hey, bro, like, if I could facilitate you winning, bro, win. Shit, win. You'd be a fool to not win. Right? Conversations are free. I tell people I give guys game all the time. Hey, like, I didn't get here by accident. I'm not where I am right now comfortable by accident. I don't own my house by accident. It's not by accident. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not able to travel when I want to by accident. It's just not by accident. And certain people who I've had conversations with, they know exactly where, maybe not where I came from, but from a certain point when they were around, they know where I was at and how I got to this point, because I'm an open book. I don't have a problem telling you, hey, like, this guy I'm thinking about, we actually worked at the same job together. I told him, I said, hey, bro, you want to know how I left? This is how I left. And gave him the steps. Now, if he takes it, cool. If he don't, cool. But you're still my guy regardless. You may not want to win that way. But if there's no way that I can help you win, cool. I don't get nothing from referring you, because I don't want nothing from referring you. I want you to get business. Right? The friend shit's cool, but I want to be able to, we may not be friends forever. For real. We may not be friends forever, but when I see you 10 years from now and you got your business going, and you see me 10 years from now and I got my business going, we may stop and chop it for 10 minutes and just, nobody would never know the origins of that relationship. But me and you would know, like, hey, bro, like, damn, bro, like, I'm proud of you, man. You too. Damn, I sure appreciate you looking out back in the day when it didn't cost you nothing. Man, no problem, bro. Whenever. You know what I mean? Whatever you need. And keep it moving. Networking. It's hard to network when you don't have nobody to network with. It's hard to network, and it's hard to have a why when you don't have a goal. Don't set goals that are like out of this world because you feel like you're supposed to. If your goal is to get to here, set goals incrementally that will allow you to get to that point. Everybody wants to be Warren Buffett tomorrow. It don't work like that. Everybody wants to be Mr. Beast tomorrow. It don't work like that. You have to set goals that are within reach, and then work towards those goals, because it's just like everything else. hey, like, even when you're unmotivated, just stay consistent. Just stay consistent. When you want to quit, remember, all I gotta do is get to this goal. I ain't gotta get to the top. I just gotta get to this one spot. I can get to that one spot. And your timing is your timing. But understand your why. As long as you have a why, your timing will always line up. Always. Always. Trust the process, trust yourself, trust the people around you. If you don't trust the people around you, get the fuck from around those people. I don't know many people that are super successful that are around people that ain't super successful. Now that don't mean that they don't have guys that aren't successful around them. They do. But sometimes game breeds game. I gotta be around somebody that's gonna give me information that can help me get to the next level. Well, when I get this information, what do? I disseminate this information to the masses. The guys that aren't in that situation, that want to get there, now I got game that I can give to them. Because if I gotta say so, they gonna win. Whether they like it or not. They gonna fucking win. They gonna win. They gonna win. And if you watching this, you gonna win. Whether you want to or not. Whether it's something small, a small win for you, or it's hitting the jackpot. Whatever it is, I mean, if you hit the jackpot and I brought that to you, I'd like, 1%. Well, 2%, because I got to give away something for taxes. But that's here or there at the moment. Everybody that's watching this, you're going to win. You will win. You will win. Get out of your own way and diagnose yourself. Figure out what it is that's making you make these decisions. And if it's something that you can stop, if it's something that is hindering you, and something that you can heal from, or something that you can kind of work through and get to a better place. Because a lot of times we make bad decisions on habit. A lot of times it's us just making bad decisions because we're just in this season of making bad decisions. It is what it is sometimes. Hell, I'm guilty of that. There's times where I can't get shit right. But you got to understand, like, you know what? My why needs to get readjusted. I'm doing this for just the money, rather than doing this for, like, the actual want to learn this, or the want to get to the next level, or the want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, have an understanding of what I'm doing. And I got to readjust. And I got to go, damn, I got to either figure me out, or I got to go do something else. This ain't for me. I took this job, or I got myself involved in this certain situation for the wrong reason. For the wrong reason. And sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes it's weeks of decisions. Sometimes it's you know what? It stockpiles just like this sometimes, right? Sometimes you'll wake up, you'll be in a bad mood. You'll go back and forth in your head about whatever's going on in your head. You don't talk about it. It don't come out. Your lady or whoever you're talking to, you take that out on her. Boom. Now that's two things and your day just started. It ain't even 9 o'clock yet. And you've already started this downward trajectory on your day. So then you get to work, or you head to work, get pulled over. Boom. The police talk crazy to you a lot of times, whatever the case may be, right? A lot of times, more times than not, I've seen, like, they tend to sometimes get out of character. You're already in a bad mood. You get a ticket. Say you only go to jail, but you get a ticket. That's 3 things. It ain't 9 o'clock yet. Get to work. Whatever you got to do, whatever the case may be. You may have forgot your equipment. You may just kind of be in that effort style of day, and you don't put your PPE on, or whatever you got to deal with. Boom, something happens at work. Now, this snowball effect starts from the idea of, you know what, like, I could have just got this out the way at the beginning of the day. I could have just had this conversation, or I could have just said, hey, you know what, I'm having a bad day. Let me control the things I can control. Let me stop for a second, recenter myself, try to figure out what's going on my ride to work. Figure that out. Or before I leave the house, hey, while I'm sitting up, let me figure out what it is that's going on. Figure out what my why is for the day. Why am I feeling this today? What's going on inside my head? But we don't. We allow it to linger. And then it lingers. And then 2 days turns into a week. A week turns into 2 weeks. And then the next thing you know, a lot of us, I don't want to say a lot of us, but a lot of us are on the internet posting about feeling some type of way. And it's like, hey, like, if what you shouldn't do is post. What you should do is, like, go sit down and center yourself in silence and figure out why this is happening. Again, your why. Figure out why it's going on. Why it's consistently going bad, because everything roots from somewhere. Usually, you're not that bad of a person to just ruin. It would be hard for a regular person with control of themselves and an understanding of themselves to have a full bad week of shit that's going wrong. Usually. Unless it's just slated to go that way and you ain't got no control. But that's rarely the case. Because at any moment, I can stop and figure out what it is I need to do. I'm a type of person, like, you know what? Like, before I get to blowing up, I'll go sit by myself. I'll go for a drive. I'll go do something. I'll shoot hoops. I'm not a bad basketball player, but I'm not fucking Kevin Durant either. But I'll go out there and I'll just go blow off some steam, go to the gym. I'll get away from people because I understand me. I understand, like, when I don't feel like talking, I don't feel like talking. And whatever. When I feel like talking, I'll talk about it. You know, and there are things that I don't say, and there are things that I will say over time. I get kicked for that a lot. Hey, like, you've been some type of way for 3 or 4 days now, and it's like, yeah, I know, but I don't mean any harm. But I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm trying to self-diagnose. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this, to the root of this, so that way I can get to the next level. And get one, well, not even get to the next level. One, I can get back baseline where I should be, and then I can push myself to the next level. A lot of us, we try to push ourselves to the next level and end up sinking because we're not in the proper mind frame to deal with whatever's coming with the next level. If that makes any sense. If I'm not, tell me. But everybody that's watching this, you will win 100%. You will win. And right now, if you winning, I'd love to you to put a comment in the description. I mean, not in the description, in the comments, and just put I'm winning, because that's all I want. That's all I want for everybody. If I never get the opportunity to get in front of this camera again, I want everybody to know, like, hey, like, the control ultimately that you have over your life is you. Is you. Understand your why. Understand why of people around you, because I mean, these you are who you're around. And if you know me, hey, I love you. If you know me and we genuine people, I love you to death. I want you to win. I may not show up for every celebration when you win, but just know, like, I'm in my corner clapping. I got a real good hand clap going on. I might even Birdman hand rub for you, right? Like that's just what it is. But I never want anybody to have this notion or this idea that, like, some of us just have it figured out. I don't got it figured out. I'm out here rocking and rolling every day. I'm in public. I'm outside, like I said before. Anybody who needs to talk to me, ask me a question, I'm available. I'm available. I've never done everything right. Trust me. Trust me. But sometimes you got to fall down to stand back up. Being a stand-up person takes work. It ain't easy to be a stand-up guy. The world doesn't look at guys as what they used to back in the day, right? We got to deal with everything that the world has to offer plus some, and that's not knocking the ladies. I'm just speaking as a man personally. So there's enough that goes on for us not to know why we're doing this or why, you know. And so I challenge everybody, if you're watching this, like I said, man, find out your why, push yourself to the next level. Once you find that why, allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to, you know, maybe you just gotta cry real good, yo. Have that moment by yourself. You know, let that emotional stress out and get to it. Get back to it. Don't ever allow a pit stop on your journey become a rest stop. Pit stop's what? 4 or 5 minutes. Don't allow it to be a rest stop. Don't allow it to be a final destination. A pit stop is just supposed to be that, a pit stop. Take that pit stop, check the air in your tires, right? Make sure your AC still blowing. Get your Sprite and a Snickers from the vending machine. Use the bathroom. Get back on the road. Let's go. Let's go. And as many times as I gotta get on this camera and I gotta redo it and I got to remind you that you gonna win, I'll do it if I need to. All you gotta do is let me know. Drop it in the comments. I'll make one tomorrow if I need to. For everybody that's out here that's pushing themselves to the next level, I'm proud of you. For everybody that wants to push themselves to the next level, I'm even more proud of you. Because the first part of knowing that you want to get to the next level is knowing inside of you that there's a why for you to get there. If not, you're just going to think that wherever you're slated to be is where you're at. And if there's anything that I can do, any word of wisdom that I can give, any type of life experience that I can talk about to help you get to the next level, or speak on how to get through it or how I got through certain situations, I'm here. We're definitely going to get on some more stories because it definitely hadn't got to the good parts yet. But, you know, like I said at the beginning, there's going to be some smiles, there's going to be some frowns, you know, but we're going to rock and roll. I'm rocking with y'all. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me in return. So till next time, Humble Talk Podcast, episode 9. Peace.